Okay, 124. This is the deal. Your 25 words or less, those of you who turned it in, these are the ones that you've turned in. Be following this little presentation shortly with the specific comments. You're going to hear specific, you're going to hear that word a lot, specific. And I'm going to explain real fast why for everyone. Now remember, when I give you feedback, it's not criticism, these are suggestions. It's all about rewriting anyway. Simple, clear goal is the biggest thing missing from almost everyone's 24 words. That goal should be in the log line, right? That something's going to happen, it's going to create a problem, and there's going to be a goal to solve that problem. I have a lot of great setups, but in the log line, I'm missing what that specific clear goal, how they're going to go about liberating society or saving the world or becoming a better person, right? So remember, there's two main focuses. That light's glaring on there. That's worse. Okay, two main focuses. Maybe it's the window. Hold on. Okay, so we're gonna have to deal with a little bit of the glare. But here's the thing. We have the above. Remember the Joseph Campbell. There is an above ground journey and an interior journey. And most of you are basically, and this is what happens almost every time, people focus on the interior journey for the log line, and you really need to work in the above ground journey. How are they going to solve this problem, this goal, right? So let's talk about some examples that everyone should have seen. You should have seen Rudy, right? Rudy wants to play football for Notre Dame. That's the simple, clear goal. The irony, he is very small and has no athletic ability. Got it? It's about a kid who wants to play football for Notre Dame, but has no athletic ability. Clear goal, specific, right? And that's what the whole movie's going to be about. And of course there's going to be interior journey. He's going to grow and change. We've talked about the Star Wars, in German, Krieg und Stern. Our young farm boy needs to get the plans to the Death Star to the rebels. That's the clear, simple goal. And everything else is built on top of that. All right, now, Lord of the Rings. Now, almost all of you, I'm pretty sure, have seen this movie, so I'm going to use this as an example. I feel like this, in the video, it looks like the shadow from the light is making kind of a Hitler mustache on me. I can't tell for sure. Anyway, hopefully it's not that bad when I actually see this. So Lord of the Rings. This is a whole huge 3-book, 3-movie epic, right? But what's this clear, simple goal? They've got to get the one ring to wherever, I forget the name of the place, and drop it in Mount Doom and destroy it, right? How simple could that be? And yet we have all of this interior journey of many characters built around this one simple, clear goal. Destroy the one ring. Got it? So, we've got all kinds of the theme for that, right? We've got the main character is Frodo Baggins. He is a hobbit. Hobbits are small. From the smallest people who have been underestimated, often there's the greatest strength, right? The hobbits are the ones that are going to withstand the ring, be able to accomplish everything that everyone said was impossible, and yet they're tiny, discounted individuals, right? So there's a huge theme, and then we're going to see this play in all the hobbits change in a similar way. They become less silly and more sacrificing and grander as that's the interior journey, right? So the Lord of the Rings is not, you don't pitch Lord of the Rings by saying this is about a hobbit named Frodo who finds himself fighting the forces of evil. That does happen, right? But we want the specific goal, right? He's got to destroy the one ring, despite all odds. So there we go. Okay, now for the next assignment, are basically to wrap up what we're doing here, to try to get to wrap up. We need to get to your Blake Snyder. All right, 10 types of Blake Snyder genres. Monster in the House, Golden Fleece, Out of the Bottle, Dude with a Problem, Rites of Passage, Buddy Love, Why Done It, The Fool Triumphant, Institutionalized, Superhero. You need to figure out what genre it is. I hope all of you have gotten the book and have been reading it. I know Adam Eckert is. Figure out what genre yours is in. Watch lots of movies from that genre, just like he advised, and then move on to the Blake Snyder beat sheet. In the video I'll be posting in just a couple days, I'm going to go through the Blake Snyder beat sheet step by step, and we'll move on to that. Right now, feedback for what you got. If you haven't sent me your log line yet, it's getting close. We're having to move on. I know it takes a while, and it's more difficult than you thought, right? Especially, so get on that. Figure out, in addition to that, figure out who your antagonist is on the next version, right? In the log line, basically say who the antagonist is, or at least figure it out, and make sure you know what the antagonist's goal is, right? So for Lord of the Rings, we have Sauron, the primary antagonist. What's his goal? Well, conveniently, it's directly in opposition to Frodo's goal. Frodo wants to destroy the ring. Sauron wants to get the ring back and prevent its destruction, right? So in the interior journey side, right, Sauron wants to rule the world. See, not specific enough. Specific task for Sauron needs to get the ring from this meddling hobbit and all of his allies, right? Specific. That's written there. Okay, this is Chances. Title: Salvador the Unchained. A criminal mage, Salvador gathers an army for revenge, but on his path he decides that he will fight to protect, not fighting for revenge. I'm not sure what a mage is, just for starters, so and maybe because I'm old. It's specific, sort of, right? Revenge, okay, I think go further. Revenge against who? Give it that specificity. We've definitely got a little bit of irony there. I'm going to turn my messaging back off. Not fighting for fighting, or he fights to be able to not fight for revenge. So get a good touch of irony there, which I expect from Chance. So what's the revenge about? I would just clarify. All right, good work.
Hey Loomis, so I got the title of my story done. I put it as Authority, Constructor of Vengeance. The log is: a young boy is worked to the bone and faces moral decisions. Thievery, something the boy has never done, changing him from innocent to vigilante.
All right, Zachary, good. I think you say authority. Anyway, we watched the title. So the young boy who's never considered, he's worked to the bone, and he's going to turn to thievery and then vigilantism. Okay, good premise. As everyone else, we've got to get specific here. So we have, okay, let's think of Aladdin, right? Aladdin's a thief. He's turned to thievery. We have the nice save the cat moment when he gives the food to the starving kids after he goes to all that trouble to get away from the guards. And then we get a specific task, right? He's basically going to marry the princess, right? So in this case, right, we've got to figure out what's he going to do with this vigil. Who's he just killing random people? Is he, if we have like the famous vigilante movies, let's go back all the way to Charles Bronson in Death Wish. He is basically, his wife is killed, right? So it's this more specific vigilantism. He wants to find his wife's killer, and if in the meantime he'll just take it on everyone else. But that's specific. So just get specific, put that into your log line, and let's figure out where we can sneak some irony in. He's a vigilante with no superpowers, right? That's the kick-ass, right? That was the irony, right? He didn't have any superpowers until he gets hurt, and then he can handle all the pain. But let's all think about that. Okay, this is Daniel's. The three holy mountains of Dua. The three holy mountains of Dua. Akihiro, who dedicated himself towards training in the ancient mountains of the Yamabushi monks, returns to his hometown after his aging father dies and transfers control of his clandestine empire to him. Okay. almost a specific goal. He's going to take over this empire, but how's he going to do it? Does he have to kill someone? Who's he going to kill? Who's he going to do? What's he got to do? Does he got to get a special ring? Anything, or a special sword, right? Give that clear, specific goal. It's a great setting, great start. Okay, this is Olivia's. The title is Shift. S-H-I-F-T, Shift. Maybe too short. A young woman uses a street drug to cope with the discovery of her boyfriend's infidelity. Her life changes forever afterwards. Okay, this is another example, it's pretty general, right? Her life changes forever afterwards. Okay, that's part of the interior journey. What is it? How is she using this street drug? What's the specific goal of using this street drug? It's too vague to say to cope with something, right? It's like she's going to use the street drug to what? To drug him? To do what? Is she taking the drug? You got to get that goal, right? What's her overall goal? What's her above ground goal? Her interior goal is to cope. Okay, she's going to get over, and her life's going to change, right? That's character arc. In this film, feature-length film for Hollywood, what is she trying to do, right? Remember Elle with Legally, is it Elle? No, Legally Blonde, whatever her name was. Her specific goal, she wants to get her boyfriend back and change her life forever, right? But her specific goal is to get into Harvard Law School and graduate from Harvard Law School. So that becomes a very specific goal in order to get back with her boyfriend or deal with her boyfriend's infidelity, or however you want to say it, right? So specific above ground goal. Great setting, great setup. Title, Shift, might be too generic as well. All right. Okay, this is Antonio's. A perfectionist fast food worker is dragged into a drug scandal with the drug lord's daughter, MJ. Title, MJ. Okay, you're going to hear a trend. It's a scandal. He's dragged into a scandal. Okay, what does he have to do to get out of the scandal, or, right? What's that specific goal, right? He's in a scandal. A scandal is too generic, right? Okay, a scandal. What's the scandal? Does he have to deliver drugs? Does he have to get drugs from one place to the other in a certain amount of time? Does he have to kill someone to get out of the scandal, right? Get those specific things. Title, MJ, is perfectly good. I like concise titles. It does, you're like, oh, okay. And, perfectionist fast food worker, okay. That might add to where the irony can come in. Let's tell us what that specific goal is. This is Eric's. A serial killer is diagnosed with COVID-19. A serial killer is diagnosed with COVID-19 and makes infecting others his new way of killing. The hook, I feel like it's a unique idea if written and filmed correctly. Okay, that's good with all ideas, I think. Title, Shame on Wuhan. It's a working title, he says. Okay. Okay, good. Serial killer. Usually serial killer's goal is to kill the next victim. So we have them going about different ways to making or infecting people with COVID-19. I think already for a short film, this is probably as far as you need to go, but for a feature-length film, we're going to have to probably expand why he's killing people and what his ultimate goal is. Is there someone he's trying to get to at the top? Maybe. Something like that, right? Get that goal a little bit more feature-length than just going around and killing random people. We want, again, the word specific. Let's figure out a specific person maybe he's trying to get to, or who he's trying to get revenge on, or why. I mean, it's a serial killer, so you don't necessarily have reasons why they're killing people, but if we're having the movie be about the serial killer, let's think of Dexter, right? Dexter's a serial killer, and but he just decided that the hook, the irony there is he only kills other serial killers. So he has a whole season set about killing one major bad guy. Meanwhile, he kills a few other people in the meantime. So, but it's usually, right, there's always one main antagonist goal, serial killer, that he's trying to kill for the course of the one season, right? John Lithgow, whoever, right? So, good setup. I like the premise. COVID-19 things, very timely again. Specific, what's the ultimate goal? Just randomly killing people, not going to get you for 90 to 120 minutes. Okay, here's Rachel's. A super dark comedy about a guy who commits suicide, dies in the prime of his life, and has trouble adjusting to his new life in hell, toiling under Satan. There's only one bar there, so that's where he goes. While there, he accidentally kills Satan's right-hand man, and has to go on a ridiculous journey to destroy the body. The title, she has a question mark, so I'm assuming working title. The Only Bar in Hell. She says she's not sure about the theme. Maybe some anti-capitalism, anti-bureaucracy theme. I like this idea of hell as a bureaucracy. Also, if he gets caught for murdering someone in hell, is there a second hell that's worse? Just thinking out loud. Okay, so this one, we got a specific goal here, right? She has lots of things to work out here, but it's a good setting, good setup. But you've got a body, that's a clear problem. You've got to hide that body. That's a clear goal, right? How do you hide a body, right? There's been whole movies made about these kinds of things. The big major section of Pulp Fiction, right? They've got a dead body in the car. They've got to get rid of it / hide it. That drives a large portion of that film, right? That the clear goal there. Okay, good. Here's Angelique's title and logline. Title: Screech. Hopefully not about the Save by the Bell guy. Okay, so, title is Screech. Logline. In New York's underground art scene, an art student is forced to care for her happy-go-lucky brother while struggling with her career in untreated mental illness. All right. Maybe some irony there. I'm not sure. I don't have a clear, simple goal. You see a pattern here. No accusations, everyone. Just next on the rewrites, right? It's all about the rewrite. What's the clear goal she's doing? She has to care for her brother. What does that mean? Give us a specific goal. Specific. She's got to win an art contest or something while caring for her brother. There's one thing that we can have that above ground plot tied to. Okay, moving on. Okay, this is Jillian's. Title: Human Reset. The movie is about the only person left in their family who has survived a virus that has wiped out 90% of the human population. The world thought it would be over in months. It's been 10 years. Everything has changed, but the desire to live is the same. Okay, very timely. Again, good premise, good setup. What's the desire to live is a goal, but it is not a specific goal, right? Everyone has a desire to live. All animals have a desire to live. What do we have to do, right? Do we have to travel to the faraway mountains and kill a woolly mammoth? Getting all period genre caveman movie, but that's a specific goal, right? You got to go get this one specific thing in order to survive, right? So the desire to live, okay, what is it? Does she have to go to a specific place to find the cure? Does she have to do this? Does it have to do that, right? Similar disaster movies, right? Waterworld, right? Well, they've got to find this place, the only place that's got dry land, right? Clear, specific goal. Desire to survive, yes, but having to find the map to lead to the one place that has dry land, that's the specific goal. All right, so great setup, great premise, good timing, get specific.
All right, this is probably like my 25th time trying to record this, so hopefully I've got it nailed at this point. My film is going to be called Cold Summer, and it's about a future where humans traded their freedom for comfort and convenience. And it falls upon three strangers to come together and liberate society from the artificial superintelligence that has enslaved them. And the main theme of this is going to be the perils of complacency. And I'm thinking it's going to be geared towards teenagers and young adults, so like TV 14 kind of ratings. And an animated film would, I guess, cut down on the costs of this kind of production. But I won't know what kind of medium I want to do it in until I've really hammered out more of the story and I understand what visuals are in order to tell this story. My name's Adam Eckert. Thank you so much for listening.
Okay, good, Adam. So sorry, I just videotaped it off of the computer because I'll provide the link so you can see it. But what are precisely, exactly, specifically are these three strangers doing to liberate society, right? How are they going to liberate society? Do they have to get to specific place, right? There'll be, of course, comparisons to the Matrix. It doesn't matter. There's only 10 genres, 10 story or 7 stories, however. But so great premise, great setup, right? Is 3 strangers coming together? Great. How? Why? What's the specific goal? So, like Neo in the Matrix, right, has to get to the Oracle to see if he's the one, right? He has to find out, prove whether he's the one or not. So that's still kind of, I can understand, how it gets a little bit murky, but there's still a very clear above ground goal. Has to go see the Oracle, first of all, and then is going to have to basically defeat and be able to eventually see the Matrix for what it actually is, right? Or rise above, decide one way or the other if he is in fact the one. So that's where it starts to get more specific with the Matrix, right? So what do these 3 people do to liberate society? What do they have to do? They have to kill someone? They have to blow something up? Do they have to hijack a news station, right? Think of what's the movie with the Guy Fawkes mask guy, with Natalie Portman, that movie, right? He hijacks, he's got to liberate society too. He's got to show the untruth that they've been getting. He basically hijacks and plans to blow up things, right? So it becomes very specific, and that's what strings along everything. And meanwhile, Natalie Portman has to figure out who this guy is. Anyway, now it's getting too complicated. All right, moving on. Okay, this is Carter's. A princess wants to find a husband and learns that she can perform a ritual to marry this boy, but dangerous conditions apply to the ritual. Good. Very specific, right? She wants to marry the specific boy, this boy, and has to perform a ritual to pull this off for whatever reason, right? And you can think of classic movies that have used this one are The Little Mermaid, right? She has to perform a very dangerous ritual to marry this boy, a prince, who happens to be human. She's a mermaid, so it complicates things. But that's good, right? Those extra complications, that's what makes it interesting. But it's clear, specific goal, just like we talked about. He doesn't have a title. I almost kind of like the title, Dangerous Conditions Apply to This Ritual. A little too wordy, but kind of funny. Maybe a little ironic. We could bump up a little irony here. Why does she have to perform this ritual? What's wrong with her, right? Is she truly an ogre in disguise? Get it, right? Whole movie Shrek. Yeah, same kind of idea. Okay, this is from Adam. Title, Upper Management. Fed up with his mundane job and jerk of a boss, a suicidal postman decides to deliver this piece of mail personally. All right, good. Pretty specific, right? But I'd like to hear, why can't he deliver that mail? What could be the obstacle? I'm not quite seeing, a little bit more detail on that. What is that? Maybe just describe what that piece of mail actually is. You don't be afraid to get specific. You don't want to hold off on the details of the story for the sake of surprise. Remember, we want suspense, not surprise. Surprise, maybe sometimes, but you know what I'm trying to say. Okay, this is Andrews. The Outer Rim Archaeologist. Outer Rim Archaeologist. In a galaxy far away, a seasoned archaeologist gets thrown into a new mission he wasn't planning on following through with. Great setting, right? Galaxy far away, always a good place to start. What mission? What's the goal? What's the clear goal? It's a new mission he wasn't planning on following through with. Okay, interesting. Make sure, right? Does he have to deliver a message to the troops before they attack, right? 1917. Something specific. Over and over, I'm going to say the same thing. All right, get specific. Okay, this is David's. Title is First Life. A video game developer dies only to wake up and realize that his life had been a simulation intended to provide decades of experience to use in base reality. Okay, good setup, good premise. What's he doing about it? What's the goal? Where's I know obviously he's got an issue, right? What was my life about? It's just to provide a reality. Now it reminds me of a very similar, very good movie called Moon with Sam Rockwell. He realizes that he's a clone, and then his clones just keep replacing him. He's having to work on the moon. He thinks he's going to work on the moon and then get to go back to Earth after he gets to a certain point, but he realizes that his body breaks down and dies, and then the next clone takes over. So what does he got to do? And so that's just the beginning, right? Once he realizes he's a clone, then he's going to have to figure out how is he going to get back to Earth and circumvent his death and situation, right? So that becomes the clear goal, right? So what's he going to do? Is he going to have to get out of this video game? Does he have to get back to real life? Does he have to be reborn, right? Give us a specific goal. There's that word again, specific. It's a great setup, great premise, right? And Matrix, similar, but just because it's similar doesn't mean that's not a criticism. All right. Okay, this is Angelique's short story. We're going back a bit. Once upon a time, there was a student who went to film school. One day, the student is given a class assignment. Write a short story, the instructor said. So the student sat down to do the work. Remember, choose a protagonist, give them a goal, pick a theme, add some irony, make sure they get what they deserve, and always use therefore or but never and then. The instructor cautioned. Don't worry, said the student. I know what I'm doing. But when the students started overthinking the assignment, they forgot everything the instructor had taught them. Then they realized they had thought about the assignment so much 2 months had gone by, and the assignment was past due. The student rushed to write the short story, seeming to remember everything the instructor had taught them. Oh, thank goodness you finally turned in the assignment, the instructor said upon receiving the student's short story. Yep, and I remembered everything you taught me, said the student. But the student was wrong. Too late, the student realized they had not remembered everything the instructor had taught them. Oh no, it seems you've forgotten one thing, the instructor said. You forgot the most important rule. Therefore, or but never, and then. The student hung their head in shame and disappointment. While they may get credit for the assignment, they will always have to live with the shame of this mistake. Well, that's the shame. There, you've learned an important lesson, the instructor said. If you spend too much time thinking about a thing, you'll never get it done. Very true. First drafts, get it on the page, whatever it takes. I'm experiencing some of this right now with getting these videos made, right? I want them to be good and entertaining, but at some point I just got to get them done. So on that note, we're done.